want to make it my own, and I was crying about it earlier. Majority of my money for this month I paid off. I'm just tired. Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I am going to be talking about, or telling you guys, how much I've spent this month, how much I've made, and kind of me being really glad that I have an emergency fund. This will just be another video, part of my Financially Secure series. And if you don't know, haven't watched it, I am paying off $70,000 worth of debt. I am a registered dental hygienist, making roughly around $100,000 a year, and I live at home. So yeah, I'll be kind of going over what I've spent the majority of my income on and how I managed to somewhat adapt to not making as much this month. Okay, I'm just gonna get straight into it. I have my pizza pocket here. I'm waiting for it to cool down, so I'm gonna be eating in between. All right, so just quick breakdown in total for the month of January, how much I spent, my total spending as of January 29th, the day that I'm filming this. It is $5,860.98. I have the house to myself finally for once, and so I'm trying to like film this as fast as I can before I lose my mind with noises from other people living here. So just to give you guys an idea of how I track all my expenses, I use You Need a Budget. I've talked about it so many times. I'll let you guys do the research on that if you want to. I just highly recommend it, and it has really been a crucial, what's the word? It's just been really beneficial, or like a thing that has significantly helped me pay off my debt. I'm gonna go into the categories. I'm going off of the reports that they have done for me. So after the total monthly spending, majority of my money for this month, I paid off $3,600 towards my line of credit. And then for my bills, which includes, bills include car insurance, cell phone, medications, subscriptions, and that's about it. Anyway, I spent $996.78. Quality of life category, and that just includes clothing, miscellaneous items, skincare, hair, that kind of stuff. $678.44. And this number is a little bit higher than what I normally spend because I paid for some stuff for family, and I didn't feel like splitting up the bill, so I just lumped it all into my miscellaneous category, and then I'll wait to get paid back for that. But I also had to buy a humidifier, going from Amazon, and it's great. Went and saw a movie, I think it was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I just basically did a few extra things, or that's why it is higher than normal. And then my frequent category includes stuff that I pay frequently for, so that's transportation, gas, anything to do with like car washes, car maintenance. I put it in the transportation section because my car category is just for the payments. And then I have eating out, groceries, and then a gym membership in there. I have significantly reduced my spending on food this month. So normally what I like to do is just fund my grocery section for the month, and then if I eat out, I transfer the money from the groceries to the eating out category, so it covers the spending there. That way I'm not assigning like $400 or whatever monthly to groceries and then extra money to eating out. If I decide to eat out, I just don't want to spend anything extra than the allotted amount that I've assigned for food in general. I have separated it this way just so that I can see at the year end or how much money I've spent on food, like eating at home versus going out. Food delivery apps have been extremely expensive, and I've managed to avoid it for the most part. In total, for my frequent categories is $499.67. Most of that was on gas, about $238 for the month, and that is cheaper than my usual amount. I usually spend like close to $600 on gas a month because of where I work. It's a big long story, but I got a job in the area that I want to live in, but I don't live anywhere near there. It's just the hours were too good to pass up. There's just no job postings that I could find Monday to Friday in my area. I would have had to work at like multiple different offices. Anyway, whatever. It just works out this way. But yeah, because there was snow days, thankfully, kind of sucks. Like there's two sides to this, where one side it's good because I saved money on gas, and then the other side it's bad because I didn't work as much. So my paycheck this month was not great. And then I have a non-monthly category that is just if I spend anything on family, and then anything on YouTube expenses. So what did I put for YouTube? Oh yes, I've been doing anything related to like subscription wise. So like Epidemic Sound goes in this category, and then I bought some like YouTube planning worksheets. I'm trying to go through and see if it's gonna help me or not, but that was only $1.37, so I didn't mind spending that. Most of the stuff was bought on those days that I was stuck at home because of the snow, because I was just boredom buying, I guess. I also have like a savings category where I have my ADHD tax, I like to call it. And it's just like my bank fee goes in that category for one of my banks that I use. So it's a total of $11.95. So in terms of my income, because I lost a few days to the snow day, I didn't get compensated for it. I still ended up working a Saturday extra. For the total of this month, it's $4,993.85. So it's not as high as it could be because I'm missing a couple of days there. So I'm really glad that I have an emergency fund. Not that I had to use it just yet. This is kind of where I have a dilemma, and I thought I'd kind of talk to you guys about it because I'm not exactly sure what to do. So as of right now, I have $3,803.76 left on my line of credit, and it's because I dumped $3,600 last month payment. Originally it was going to take me, I think, until March or May kind of timeline to completely pay off my line of credit. It would have been a no-brainer if I had these extra days. Like if I didn't have a snow day, I would have paid it all off completely. But because my paycheck was a little bit lower than I wanted it to be, I don't feel comfortable necessarily using it all towards my line of credit, because I am worried in the chance that I hurt myself or I get sick or something where I can't work, so I won't have anything covering my regular bills. So it makes me hesitant to dip into my emergency fund for that to cover the rest. On my budget right now, moved money around, so I moved some money from my emergency fund to cover the total cost of the line of credit. So $3,803.76. Just makes me a little scared. I don't know if the money that I have right now is enough to cover the costs until I get my next paycheck. $3,800 is like dipping into my emergency fund. And when I open up the simulator, the payoff simulator here, it does tell me how much I would save if I just paid it all off today. So if I put in the amount, 3,803.76, I would save about $51.68 in interest if I paid it all off. I know it might seem kind of like a no-brainer. I know it's easy for me to say it's only $50 in interest, like it's fine if I pay off $3,600 and then the rest next month, and then I just paid like a little bit more interest on that. But the unsettling feeling, the nervousness I have of letting go of that money and not having it in my bank account makes me nervous. And this kind of goes into my anxiety that I've been feeling lately about buying a place. All morning I spent a really long time looking at condos in the area that I want to live in, and I am just feeling devastated, emotional, angry, a whole wide range of emotions. I don't even know how much I'm pre-approved for. I've sent off all my stuff to my mortgage broker just last Friday, so I'm waiting to hear back from her, but I'm thinking it's not gonna be great. And then the interest rate, the prices of the condos are in really old buildings, so the strata fee, which is like homeowners associations in the States, is astronomical, and you're gonna be paying $300 to $500 depending on the condo for a 20, 30, 40-year-old dump that I don't want to even stay at long term. And I know some people are saying like, why are you buying if you don't plan to stay 5-10 years? Like, I'm 32. I don't plan to stay in a condo for 10 years. If I was 22, sure. If I was in my early 20s, mid-20s, sure, possibly longer than 2 to 3 years. But my goal has always been to get a house. I have gone back to school. I've changed my life. I've done all these things that you're supposed to do so that you can make more money and achieve your goals. And my goal was to buy a house. And now I am getting ready to think about buying a place. And I can't even afford a place making $100,000 a year on my own. Like, it's just so frustrating that you're doing all these things, you're doing supposedly all the right steps, and it just feels like I'm getting a boot to my face while I'm trying to climb up some stairs and I'm tumbling backwards, breaking my neck. Like, I'm just really frustrated. And so I did a hypothetical budget, a random apartment. Like, I chose an apartment that was not my favorite but decent, that would still need work done. And so this is like hypothetical. So I took the average amount that I made last year from July to November. So I just took all the averages, right? So average monthly income, $5,900. Average bills in the categories, once I've subtracted that from the $1,500, leaves me with $2,594.15. That amount leaves me with a leftover for mortgage, savings, strata, and property tax. And when I'm looking at these places, because of the interest rate and the cost of these crappy apartments, I'm gonna be left with like $100 to $200 a month. Like, I'll be house poor. I don't know how I would buy furniture after saving a large amount for the down payment. I don't know how anyone lives. And these are like 1-bedroom apartments. They're not even 2. So like, I can't even have an idea of to like rent out the second bedroom. Not that I ever would, because at least for a little while, because I really need my own space. I truly need my own space. I cannot share a space. I want peace and quiet, and I want it to be my place. And like, that's it. Like, I'm not compromising on things, because I just feel like I've compromised on so many areas of my life. And that's the one thing I want, is my own place. Don't want to rent out for a while, if ever. If I can avoid it, I will. Like, it's just, I shouldn't have to even think about wanting to, like, having to rent out a second bedroom. And I can't even afford that second bedroom. It's just really frustrating, because like, this amount doesn't even include the cost for utilities, anything extra. Like, what am I going to be saving 50 cents a month? Putting into my emergency fund? Like, I'm just really frustrated, and I don't want to have to rely on someone else. I make a good living, supposedly. Why the F can I still not afford my own place in a town that's still an hour away from my family? And if I look further out, it's the same thing. The prices are the same thing. You can't find anything for cheaper than like $300,000, and around that, those are all for crappy apartments with super high strata fees that bump you up to like around the same cost of a new build with less strata fees, because it's a new build. If I ever get married or have a long-term partner, I don't want to have to move in with them or have them rent. Like, I want to have my own place with no one else having access to it. And yeah, it's just really upsetting. And obviously there's a lot of people out there, a lot of people making less than me. I'm like an independent person, single person, as in I don't have anyone else to rely on. Like, why should I have to move 5 hours away from my family? I don't want to. They're my support system. Barely their social life is here. I would have just a lot more issues moving away from my family, all just to afford a place. And then you start thinking, I should just rent, but then you're just at the mercy of someone else. Like, it's a control thing for me. I just really need my own place. I need that freedom of being able to do whatever I want to my own place, not have to run things by other people just to have them basically call me stupid for even wanting to do that because the walls are just brand new painted. Why would you want to change the color? Don't put holes in the wall. Don't do this. Watch this. Blah, blah, blah. Like I just want my own place, and I want to make it my own, and I was crying about it earlier. And that's why I couldn't film this earlier, and I don't know when I'll get this video out because I don't know when I can edit it. It just sucks, and I really needed to vent about it. So anyway, I'm living at home and I'm about to pay off my main line of credit because it's the only thing with interest left. My student loans are interest-free at the moment, so I'm using any extra money that I would have put towards my student loan. I lowered the payments to the lowest amount possible just so that I could dump more towards my line of credit so I wouldn't have to pay as much interest. And then once I have everything kind of settled, then I'll focus on paying off my student loan. But because there's no interest on it at the moment, there's no really big push or motivation for me to get that off my credit anytime soon. It actually helps me with taxes as well because I'm claiming the amount paid. There's just a bunch of stuff that benefits me if I have a little bit of this debt and it's not giving me any interest. I don't know how to explain it, but basically it's kind of a good thing at the moment. I know it could impact the amount that I am approved for with my mortgage, but I will cross that bridge when I get to it, when I find out more information from my broker about what I'm pre-approved for. Roughly to $3,600 that I was dumping towards my line of credit for the past year, or since April of 2023. I'm gonna start putting it into a high interest savings account for to accumulate interest for my down payment. Ideally, I would not do 3,600 times 10, which is roughly around 10 months from now, which would be the end of the year. It's in my head roughly how much the timeline I'm giving myself to save up. That will give me about $36,000 for a down payment, but I would like to not have to use all of that because I will be house poor and I need furniture to live in a place. I don't want to buy a place at the max of my mortgage either. This is assuming that I'll have even enough. I have a feeling that the amount I'll get pre-approved for, I won't be able to buy anything, absolutely anything in the area. Like I said, it's frustrating because then you try and think of, okay, well, how can I work around this? Work more. Okay, I did 6 days for 3 months and then 6 days every other week for another, oh my gosh, 5 months, a really long time. And my body can't take it. It's very painful being a dental hygienist when you're working that much. So what am I supposed to do? Kill myself? Just to make a little bit of extra money that's just gonna get taxed to hell at the end of the year. And then, and then I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can figure out a way to make more money off of YouTube. And then you're like, where do I have the time to film? You live at home, it's constantly loud. You're never left alone. You don't have any room to film anywhere else. I can't really do the videos that I want to do because I cannot show the rest of my house. And it's just, and I'm driving back and forth and 2 hours each day. You're mentally exhausted from having to just be on the whole day dealing with anxious people. That anytime you have off after work, you shower and then you just flop into bed. Where do I have the time to edit, to even want to film anything? And it gets so dark so early. I know it's a bunch of excuses, but I'm just trying to give a sense of how hard it is to be able to make extra money, at what cost. I'm trying to figure out a better system for making YouTube videos so that I'm not scrambling last minute. It's hard to show up on camera when you're just so frustrated and upset all the time. I'm sure you guys don't want to be watching a video of people crying all the time. I have to be in the mood. I have to think of what I want to say. I have to feel like I want to say something. And a lot of times I just want to be quiet and not say a single thing and just have peace and quiet. Anyway, you guys, I'm gonna leave that there. It was a little bit of a rant. I'm just tired. I will talk to you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for listening. See you next time. Bye.